The way Autodesk markets its software or sells its software is that once a year you're going to have a major release. So around NAB time we had the 2012 version of all of our products, Maya, 3ds Max, Smoke for Mac, Flame Premium come out. And now here in the fall, around IBC time, we're releasing the Subscription Advantage Pack. And that's something that's available exclusively to customers on subscription. It's really the most cost-effective way for them to stay up to date. But what we try to do is deliver some new features, some new workflows. For example, we just added the ability to export ProRes from Smoke for Mac. We added some new stereoscopic viewing modes in Flame Premium and Smoke as well. We also added support for the Red Epic format, including HDRX support. So customers get value for their money.
And of course the customers with no subscription will get the same advantages when they upgrade, won't they?
Yeah, if you're not on the Subscription Advantage Pack, you don't have access to these features. You can always get back into subscription when the next release comes out and get it that way. But really, the best thing about subscription is it helps customers sort of plan their budget cycle as well, because instead of having to buy an upgrade that may come out at any time for whatever amount, they know that if they pay this fee, they can plan it out and they're always going to have the most current release of Autodesk software available in their facility.
And what are the most valuable new features at this IBC?
Most valuable? I think it depends on the product. I think, on the Smoke platform, Smoke on the Mac, I think the thing people have been asking for a lot and that we've put in that they're really happy with is the ability to export both ProRes and DNx HD. So Smoke on the Mac has always been able to import a lot of these formats, but they wanted to be able to make it more of a round-tripping workflow, whether they're using it with Final Cut or a compositing app or any of the other apps in their facility. I think on the Flame side, I'd have to say it's probably the Epic support and being able to access the HDRX material. Again, just what's great about the subscription packs for us is you don't have to wait a whole year for the next version to come out. So as other manufacturers are always coming out with new camera formats, there are workflows that evolve and that are needed to be addressed, and we can address these more quickly with this model.
You talked about Final Cut Pro. What about the X version?
Well, so Final Cut Pro 10 or Final Cut Pro X came out. It certainly caused a bit of an uproar in the industry. And right now it doesn't export any kind of EDL, XML, or anything. But I anticipate as soon as it does, Autodesk will look at that technology and hopefully we'll be able to conform those projects as well. What's interesting though is a lot of people have been looking at different options. They've been looking at Adobe Premiere Pro. They've been looking at Avid Media Composer. They're keeping Final Cut 7 in their facility as long as they can. And there's a workflow with that. We can conform from any of those Creative Cut applications inside of Smoke. So Final Cut certainly changed things, but I don't think it broke everybody's workflow, because if they move to another application or stay with Final Cut 7, we can support it with Smoke.
And how do you see the future development? Is there something about effects and color grading put into the normal editing?
Well, I think so. I mean, in all of our products, we have an approach where we try to put the tools that we think artists are going to need together. So you see this in our animation suites where we bring together digital sculpting and animation and motion capture. When we talk about visual effects and color grading, I think that the industry is sort of forcing editors to become generalists. They have to be able to just not say no to their clients. So when it comes to color grading, they can't say, oh, well, I don't have the tools to color grade. So we make sure in Smoke you have the color warper. In Flame Premium you have the Luster real-time color grading tool set. Same thing with visual effects. A few years ago, I think it was easier for people to be specialists in one area or another, but the way the industry is evolving, I think people have to really offer broad services.
And this means that those high specialized products that you have been selling lose their importance?
I wouldn't say they lose their importance, but I think we try to evolve the products to meet the needs of the market. And I'll give you a good example. So Flame Premium is a perfect example of this. Flame as a software on its own is still available, and it's a great 3D visual effects tool. Luster as a software is still available for color grading. But what we put together is a package called Flame Premium, which brings those two packages together and has really amazing interop between color grading and visual effects, because that's what people were telling us they needed. So we just try to meet the needs of the market, where it's evolving to. And if colorists say they need tools that look a lot more like what's in a 3D visual effects package, like relighting and shadowing and things like that, we want to give them the option for that technology.